Hello and welcome. The shameful legacy of communist surveillance during the period of the German Democratic Republic, the GDR, or East Germany, was notorious for its all-pervasive system of state surveillance and oppression during its 40-year existence from 1949 to 1990. The Ministry for State Security, better known as the Stasi, was the dark heart of this tyrannical system, which wielded far-reaching power, highly consequential influence, and inescapable reach. Its motto was "Shield and Sword of the Party," and it embodied this axiom with chilling efficiency. With an estimated 91,000 full-time employees and around 189,000 unofficial collaborators, the Stasi maintained a ratio of one agent for every 63 East German citizens. Some estimates suggest there was one informer for every 6.5 citizens. This extensive network allowed the Stasi to infiltrate virtually every aspect of East German life. They placed full-time officers in major industrial plants, designated watchdogs in apartment buildings, and infiltrated schools, universities and hospitals. The goal was simple: to know everything about everyone. They employed a wide array of surveillance techniques, including mail monitoring, where every piece of mail entering, leaving or circulating within East Germany was scrutinised. Phone tapping was commonplace and considered a given in all telecommunications. Its agents would secretly enter homes to plant listening devices and unlawfully search for incriminating evidence without justifiable cause. Bizarrely, the Stasi even maintained an archive of body odour samples collected during interrogations. A special division searched people's trash for signs of Western goods or other suspicious items. Beyond physical surveillance, the Stasi engaged in brutal psychological operations to control the population. This included zersetzing, a technique aimed at switching off potential activists by systematically destroying their personal and professional lives. Propaganda was also wielded as a powerful tool of oppression. Schools were used as training grounds for compliance, with children engaging in activities like adorning paper dolls with gas masks and AK-47s. The Berlin Wall was portrayed as protection against a West German separatist state bent on sabotaging socialism. The storming of the Stasi headquarters in Berlin on January 15, 1990, marked the effective end of East Germany. The subsequent opening of Stasi files revealed the staggering scale of surveillance, shocking the world and leaving a lasting impact on German society. Today, 30 years after these events, the Stasi's legacy is a stark reminder of the dangers of unchecked state power and the importance of protecting civil liberties. Many would argue we've already missed the boat here, and they'd be right. The celebrated storming of the Stasi headquarters signalled the end of one of history's most oppressive surveillance regimes. But its brutal MO of rule by terrorism persists through globalism's tyranny currently engulfing the world. Here in Australia, the exact same tyrannical control strangled all forms of freedom throughout the criminal hoax of COVID, and its aspects continue in various forms and at multiple levels. Gutless cowards reported neighbours for not wearing a face mask, while automaton police blindly followed ridiculous and unlawful orders without question. Well, they still do. And there's little hope lessons in humanity from recent mistakes will alter their mental enslavement. These mindless mercenaries will obediently do as directed, no matter how cruel, vicious and murderous the actions. And these actions comprise participation in their own digital enslavement and ultimate demise. Survivors of Stasi oppression urgently warn these same sinister forces have overtaken the once free nation of Australia. But it's not just here, because recent reports expose excessive police measures in the UK, where public confidence has evaporated in recent years. A YouGov survey found that the proportion of people with no confidence in the police's ability to deal with crime rose from 38% in 2020 to 53% in April 2023. This obliteration of trust derives from high-profile cases of brutal police misconduct and illegal behaviour. The disproportionate use of stop and search powers irreparably damages community relationships, particularly with minority groups, while having no effect whatsoever in reducing violent crime. Also, the gratuitous deployment of force has some officers concerned about its excessive use, especially during protests and public gatherings. But, despite professed misgivings, mercenary robocops unconscionably inflict brutality upon oppressed communities just the same. The rapid expansion of intrusive surveillance technologies and data gathering by police deepens privacy concerns. The UK government has belatedly acknowledged the need for reform. Recent initiatives include proposed improvements to make dismissing officers found guilty of gross misconduct easier, supported by increased funding for community policing programs. As the controversy over police reform escalates, restoring effective law enforcement is seen as a lost cause. The despotic nature of globalist control eradicates hope for significant change regarding these matters. Just like the medical professionals during COVID, those who should speak out decline for reasons of self-preservation, which fails to acknowledge their craven silence will unavoidably worsen the situation. As if things aren't already bad enough, the UK's controversial non-crime hate incidents, NCHIs, come under scrutiny, sparking further debates regarding fascistic police overreach. Introduced in 2014 by the College of Policing, this policy allows law enforcement to document perceived hostility or prejudice, even when no crime has been committed. Actions can arise through a complaint from a spineless woke wanker claiming to be offended by a social media post. NCHIs are defined as any non-crime incident which is perceived by the victim to be motivated by hostility or prejudice toward protected characteristics such as race, religion, sexual orientation, disability, and of course, the deep state bully on the block of transgender identity. Importantly, these incidents do not meet the threshold of criminal offences, but are recorded based on distorted and self-deluded woke perceptions rather than empirical evidence. Police can record an NCHI according to hurt feelings from alleged victims or witnesses and officers' observations, even without victim or witness reports. No investigation is required to confirm the presumed validity of the perceived hostility or prejudice. Remember, history's tyrants always change the law before they break it. NCHIs can appear on disclosure and barring service DBS checks, potentially affecting employment prospects for teachers, doctors, nurses, and other professionals. This police state oppression creates a culture of self-censorship, particularly around satanic psyops like gender identity. Individuals may be unaware that an NCHI has been recorded against them. Despite ludicrous claims that NCHIs help prevent escalation to hate crimes, Freedom of Information requests uncovered no evidence supporting this assertion. The case of Harry Miller, a former police officer, thrust NCHIs into the spotlight. Miller was recorded for transphobic tweets, including retweeting a feminist song verse. Although no crime was committed, the incident was logged and Miller was labelled a suspect. Miller successfully challenged this in court, with the judge ruling that applying NCHI guidance in his case was unlawful. The controversy surrounding NCHIs has led to insistent demands for reform. Deep state puppet lawmakers glibly announce improved guidelines emphasising special regard for freedom of expression, but we know this weasel-worded assurance is empty rhetoric. Miller's case and others compelled legal scrutiny of the policy, but corrupt institutions investigating themselves are futile. No parliament ever mandated the practice of recording NCHIs, but this vindictively malicious perversion of law continues without pause. Alarmingly Orwellian is the UK police telephoning individuals advising they need to check their thinking pursuant to a non-woke social media post. While patently absurd, these sinister attempts at thought policing are exceedingly dangerous. This seismic shift in investigation direction sees intimidating police teams house-calling in hot pursuit of fictitious NCHIs, which are, in their mind, so-called offences. This malicious harassment without cause deliberately ignores devastating crimes of excessive burglary, violent rape, and out-of-control assaults. So ask yourselves, who is the real enemy? Thank you for watching.